understand. Darrell's a grown man. He can't live there, so he goes and gets his own place. Of course, I'm kidding. I just told you where he lives. He lives in his mother's driveway in his mother's car, okay? The like, subscribe, consider becoming a member to support the channel on a regular basis. Really help. Okay, and leave comments. Just get in the comments and let me know what you would like for me to speak on in part 2. How about that? How about you be a part of the conversation? You know what I'm saying? Hey y'all, it's your girl J9 Eve. Thought I'd do a little bit of stand-up, but because you know mama, okay, mama got bad knees, and so we're gonna do a sit-down comedy, okay? For those who have come across this and are unfamiliar, which I don't know who you would be if you were unfamiliar with this, okay? But Darrell Brooks, I have been covering him for 8 months. I've been roasting the same feller. I feel like I know this piece of ish, okay? Darrell ran through a parade. He drove his mama's car, to be specific. Darrell decided to drive his mama's car through a parade, like a active parade with people, full and packed. Children, old people, just mowed through. Imagine worst case scenario, you got it, you nailed it. That's what it looked like, okay? Of course he gets caught. He does this in broad daylight. Everybody already got their cameras out. It's a freaking parade, okay? So just too many witnesses. He then abandons the car and he goes, and he's footing it. Now, if you are unfamiliar, Darrell is about 5'4" tall, okay? He's somewhere between 5'4" and 5'6", okay? So him running, them ain't long strides is what I'm getting at, okay? They're not long strides that he's taking. They're just not, all right? So while he's running, of course, then he abandons his slipper as he tries to jump over a fence. One of his little slippers come off. Which brings me to another topic. The fact that he insisted on calling said slipper, because that's what it was. It was like a slide. But he insisted on calling it a flip-flop for some reason, which just made it funnier, okay? So his little short behind flips over this here fence, leaves his slipper. So now he's got one flip-flop on, one flip-flop off. He comes across a playhouse and he's hiding in the playhouse. And in the playhouse, Darrell decides well, it's a little odd I'm walking around with one flip-flop. So what do I do? Should I go back and get the other one? Or should I just leave this one and now be barefoot completely? Because that's not going to look suspicious. Now have you, this happens in a cold place during a cold season, okay? So now, of course, if I'm gonna abandon my slipper, I might as well abandon my jacket too, because if I'm gonna freeze to death, I might as well do it efficiently, I guess, was the thought process. So here's Darrell running around in his socks that I'm sure at some point were white. Probably not on this day because he looked like he don't wear clean socks. You can't blame today's thing that you done on why your socks is dirty. Them look like eternally dirty socks. Darrell was what I'm getting at. Okay. So of course, Darrell gets found hiding out at this man's house. This guy let him in his house, which is a testament to how nice the people must be in this place called Waukesha, which is where this happened. This man let this man in. Darrell come knocking at this man's door. Okay. He come knocking at this man's door. And he says, please, can I come in and use your phone? I'm homeless. I ain't gonna kill you or nothing. That's what he say. I ain't trying to kill you or nothing. And he pats himself down. What does this guy do? Open his door and let him in. Sat him on the couch, gave him a sandwich, gave him his phone, let him warm up. Now, but then the guy starts to get wise. He's like, well, all these police is driving down the street. What all these lights is about? And he starts to get suspicious. He's like, is they looking for you? You got to go outside and wait, okay? You can't be up in here. So he kicks Darrell out, which of course then gets him discovered. Which brings me to some more Darrell shenanigans. Darrell gets discovered, immediately throws his hands up, okay? Lays himself gently down on the grass, all documented, all on video. Lays himself down on the ground. They come and cuff him, very gentle. Whole town fucking gentle, okay? Of course, from this, Darrell says that they slammed him on the ground and now his shoulder is broken. Which brings us to the interrogation room where Darrell was complaining about all the pain in his shoulder. Darrell's in pain, you see. His shoulder is just killing him. It was from when they slammed me on the ground, he says. Boom. This is the gesture he makes to demonstrate how they slammed him on the ground in his imagination. And they were very, very reckless and just aggressive in his imagination, okay? So how about Darrell? Let's get into some backstory now. We're going to get into some backstory. Now, Darrell Brooks lived with his mother. Let me be more specific. Darrell Brooks lived in his mother's car, her SUV, her red SUV to be specific. Darrell lived in his mother's red SUV, which was parked in her garage. So Darrell lived in his mother's car in his mother's garage. That was his residence, okay, where he lived at. Now, the reason he had to live in said car is because he was put out of the house. Why, you ask? Oh, because he shot at his nephew. His nephew lived with his mother, right? So Darrell, having a restraining order against him now from the nephew whom he shot at, okay? He can't be in the house. So now where does he go? He goes off and he gets a job and he gets his own place. Of course. I mean, he's a grown-ass man. Darrell's a grown-ass man. He can't live there, so he goes and gets his own place. Of course, I'm fucking kidding. I just told you where he lives. He lives in his mother's driveway in his mother's car, okay? Darrell gets lonely, like living in this car in his driveway. I mean, sure, he has a whole entire television in there that he runs an extension cord into his mother's house so he can watch Tom and Jerry, or wrestling, actually. Apparently, he likes to watch wrestling, according to his ex-girlfriend, whom we're going to get into now. So Darrell got very lonely. He got lonely, living in his mother's car in his mother's driveway, all alone with just him and his television. How many nights can a man just lay across the back seat like this, flicking his feet up behind him, because he could fit in there real easily laying down. Like I told you, Darrell be 5'3", okay? But he got lonely. Darrell got lonely. It was like, I need company. Lucky for Darrell, when Darrell was 25 or 26 or something, he knocked up a minor. He impregnated a minor, which of course got him on the registry of a certain type. So, he's on this registry. He done knocked up this minor. The minor's name was Erica. Miss Erica. Now, Darrell's lonely sitting in his car. He's like 38, 39 years old at this point. And he's just living in mama's vehicle and he's lonely. So what does he do? Call up Erica. You know what you should do, Erica? You should move down here. Well, up here, I should say. You should move up here. She was living in Georgia, I think. You need to move up here. You know what I'm saying? You could get a job. You could stay with me and my mom. But I done told y'all, Darrell don't live in his mother's house, remember? Erica didn't know that. Guess what Erica done? She went up there. Guess where Erica now is living? In said car with Darrell. I couldn't make this up if I tried, okay? So according to Darrell, in this interrogation, of course, according to Darrell, he, she got down there and, he helped her. He taught her how to write a resume, which of course he can only do for other people apparently because Darrell don't got no job. So he says he helped her, write her resume and, so she could get a job at a hotel and then, sneak him into hotel rooms, I'm sure was his plan. Because Darrell's gonna Darrell. That's why. Because Darrell's gonna Darrell. In case you wanted to ask. Why would he do that? Because Darrell. That's why. Okay. So while he's in this interrogation room, he's just sulking about his sadness and how his life is just so bad now and it's just over, And then he's like, what if I lose everything? I still, my kids live with me. That's what he said. He said his children live with him. He's referring to his 2 daughters. Now, that's a funny statement. I'll tell you why. Because one of his daughters is grown, has her own baby, or at the time was pregnant on her own, lives in Atlanta. That's the one with Erica, who herself is 15 or 16 at the time. And then there's the other daughter, who's like a young one, like 8 or something. And she live in a whole nother state too. She don't even live in the state either. So he's telling them that his daughters live with him and they at the house waiting on him. What am I gotta call them so they know I'm okay. They're gonna be worried I didn't make it home, he says. Like I said, daughters in different states and neither one of them have anything to do with him. So now he says he's scared, he's gonna, what if I lose my mortgage? I still gotta pay my mortgage, is what he says in this interrogation. Still gotta pay my mortgage, I mean, that's just a funny statement, literally, remember? Because Darrell lives in his mother's car, in his mother's driveway. Darrell not only don't have a house, Darrell don't even live in one. But he says this with a straight face, which, says a lot. There's also an incident inside this interrogation where he's complaining about his shoulder. He uses it every moment he can, every time to distract them from asking him certain questions. He's like, oh my God, his shoulder must be hurting so bad. So then the officers step out of the room for a second. Soon as the door closes, I do not kid you, okay? Soon as the door closes, Darrell reaches over to see what this piece of paper is on the other side of the desk, lifts it ever so gently by the corner, being nosy, and then tries to use the phone. There's a phone sitting there on the desk in the interrogation room. Of course, they unplugged it. Duh, right? He then tries to use the phone, okay? Of course, it doesn't work. They open the door. He hurries up, slams the phone down, and then goes right back into, like the pain is so bad. He think he's so slick, but how dumb can you be? This is not the first time this man had been in an interrogation room. And there he is, acting like ain't no fucking camera in there. I ain't never been in one of those rooms, and I know it's a camera in there. Do you not watch true crime? Like, why do you think we have all this footage of the interrogations? There's just cameras in there. But Darrell be so dumb. Why? Because Darrell be so dumb. To be a Darrell, and to be that dumb. It would be hard. Darrell proves it to us every day. I might do another one of these. This might be a part 1. It's like a breakdown / sit down comedy sesh. He gives good laughs. He ain't good for nothing else. And that'll be that on that. Okay. If you made it to here, hit the like, subscribe, consider becoming a member to support the channel on a regular basis. Really, really help. Okay. And leave comments. Just get in the comments and let me know what you would like for me to speak on in part 2. How about that? How about you be a part of the conversation? You know what I'm saying? Mama likey, mommy likey. Y'all behave, because I'm not going to do it. No, I already told you no. Stop asking. Mama love you though. Yes, she do. Darrell told the police that his name was Landon Deal. Has anybody heard this yet before? Is this new to anyone up but me? Because this is news to me. I found something, you guys. All right. I'll show y'all what I've found. I found this document. It's always funny when Mama finds a document. But I found a document of something that Darrell did. It was like a court case of his from 2011. And I thought it was funny because it involved a car and a police and the police. And Darrell trying to drive over the police. Give me 1 second and I will find it on here. All right, here we go. Let's read this here thingamajigger. Darrell Edward Brooks, birthday 2/21/82. Yes, that's him. Okay, good. All right. Criminal complaint. Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Let us read what had happened. Okay. All right. I am a city of Milwaukee law enforcement officer and base this complaint upon the reports prepared by P.O. Gary Inman, who conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle the defendant was driving on a failure to wear safety belt. So Darrell didn't have his safety belt on, so the police is pulling him over for that. He then approached the defendant, who identified himself as Landon Deal. So Darrell told the police that his name was Landon Deal. Has anybody heard this yet before? Is this new to anyone up but me? Because this is news to me. Mama is reading a document that she found of Darrell, okay? Apparently, Darrell had got pulled over in 2011. He did some crazy-ish, okay? 13 years ago, 12 years ago, Darrell was always doing some shit, okay? So the police pulled him over because he didn't have his seatbelt on, all right? That's where we are so far. You got me? You got me? You got me. Hey, Dagon. What's up? That's right, Landon Deal. He said his name was Landon Deal, what he told the police. After running a check on that name, the officer again asked the defendant to identify himself, at which point the defendant quickly turned on his vehicle and placed it in drive. Yeah, he was trying to land a deal, was he? That what it was? Trying to land a deal with the prosecution, you know what I'm saying? So he came back, said, "What is your name again, sir? Because it ain't Landon Deal, you liar." So Darrell put the car in, and he turned the car on and put it in the drive. Fearing the defendant was attempting to run him over with the vehicle, police officer Inman jumped into the vehicle. He jumped in the car. He then began wrestling with the defendant to gain control of the vehicle. At one point, he had to pull the wheel to the left to avoid colliding with a parked car. He eventually was able to remove the key, and the vehicle came to a stop. Darrell is a hot fucking mess. Do you hear me? At that point, the defendant took flight. So he flew away like a bird. I think he means he ran. He ran away from the officer. He was eventually located inside a small children's playhouse. They found him in a playhouse, y'all. This is in 2011. Darrell got pulled over by the police for no seatbelt, tried to drive off. The cop jumped in the car, wrestled with him, took the keys. The car finally came to a stop. Darrell ran, took off, booking. But you know, Darrell got little legs, so his booking is more like a pamphlet. You know? Darrell pamphleted, okay, away and hid inside of a playhouse. Darrell and these playhouses. It's Darrell and these playhouses for me, okay? At this point, this is just like a thing he do. Okay. This is just a thing he do. He tries to drive over the people and then he hides in the playhouse. This is what he do. Like, this is just Darrell, a regular Darrell on a regular Darrell Tuesday, you know? Just what a Darrell gonna do. Okay. So he was hiding in the playhouse. Okay. Hiding in a children's playhouse. He was ordered out but refused to comply and was pepper sprayed. Round of applause for the officers who got the opportunity to pepper spray the shit out of Darrell. Yes, honey. Yes. Yes. Woo. Yes. The playhouse. That's right. That's where he fit. He fits there. You know, you get in where you fit in. And Darrell be fitting in a playhouse. You know what I'm saying? Darrell. Darrell is a hot mess. Oh my God. This is too good to stop. Okay. So he was pepper sprayed. Darrell went into the police. He ran from the police. He hid in the playhouse. The cops found him, of course, because duh. And they said, "Get out of there. What are you doing in there, sir? You are too old. Not too big, but too old to be in the playhouse. Just because you fit in don't mean you belong in, okay?" They said, "Get out of there." And he said, "No. I want to talk to my mother." So then they just sprayed the shit out of him with the pepper spray. Oh, which gave mama innate happiness. Okay? Innate happiness. I was happy in 2011. Okay? On March 24th, 2011, I was happy and didn't know why. Turned out it was because of Darrell. Darrell had got pepper sprayed was what had happened. So he then charged at the officers, actively resisting arrest. Yes, he did. This is a tiny little self. He ultimately needed to be, oh my God, tasered twice. They also tasered him. I've never felt this jealous in all my life. I'm so jealous of these police officers. I'm so jealous. They tased him and they pepper sprayed him. They did both. Samantha, have you been listening, girl? Did you see what I found? I found it in the cut. 2011. Darrell got tased and pepper sprayed by the police. He hid in a playhouse. Does it get any crazier? Are you not entertained? Okay. All right. So, he then charged the officers actively resisting arrest. He ultimately needed to be tased twice before he was compliant with officers' requests. Should be noted that during the incident, Officer Inman was in his official Milwaukee Police Department uniform and identified himself as such. End of complaint. Ain't that some shit? the above named defendant on or about Thursday, March 24, 2011, did knowingly resist the officer while such officer was doing an act in an official capacity. Yes, honey. Okay, so anybody who's just coming up in here, let me explain to you what I just read, okay? So in 2011, around about March, okay, Darrell got pulled over by the police for not having a seatbelt on. Police came up to the car and they said, "What is your name?" Darrell then said, "My name is Landon Deal." That's what he said his name was. So Darrell lied and said his name was Landon Deal. Police went back, ran that name, came back and said, "Sir, what is your fucking name?" It damn sure ain't Landon Deal, okay? Darrell then turned the car on, put it in drive, and tried to take off. At which the police decided to jump in the car as to not get run over by the car. So he dove in. He's wrestling with Darrell to stop the car. Had to yank the wheel to avoid hitting a parked car. He finally got the keys out of the ignition. Eventually the car came to a stop. Darrell then hopped out of the car. Ran away. Took off running. Just took off. As fast as his little legs could take him. He just ran. Found a playhouse. Hid inside. He thought he had made it away. He had not. The police found him, of course. Okay. They said, "Where would a tiny guy hide?" They found a tiny house. There he was inside. They said, "Sir, could you please come out of there?" He said, "No, I'm not coming out." They pepper sprayed him. When they pepper sprayed him, he then climbed out and he attacked the police officer. He dove at them. He would not comply. He kept fighting. So then they tased him twice. So now he's all pepper sprayed and heated up with the taser. Where eventually then he did end up complying, of course. And this happened in 2011. I don't know if it was the right car. I looked for that too. It doesn't say what car he was in. In the complaint, it didn't say what car he was driving. It didn't describe the car. It just says a vehicle. Traffic stop on a vehicle. Ain't that something? Oh, Darrell. He been at it for so long. And I thought this was funny that he said his name was Landon Deal. Whose name is Landon Deal? Was that not interesting? Was that not interesting? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Indeed, it was. It definitely was. It's always fun to read the documents with my babies.
I'm still having trouble finding the file for that particular witness. So I don't know how I'm supposed to.
Your Honor, the bed bugs, they ate my homework. The bed bugs ate my homework. What was I supposed to do? If I got between them and my homework, the bed bugs would have ate me, Your Honor. I don't know what you want me to do. All right. So let's move along to this other situation. We're going to watch a little bit from when Darrell was questioning his own witnesses, like the people he brought there thinking that they were going to save his life. But of course, that did not happen.
Case number 21 CF 1848 may have the appearances, please.
Good morning, Judge. Sue Upper, Leslie Basie, and Zach Wichow appearing for the state.
State your name for the record.
I'm here as a third-party intervener in that matter,
Sure
appearing
you
as
are, Darrell.
authorized representative for my client. I accept for value and return for value all the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments, and I would like to make a reservation of all my rights at this time.
Hey, CM.
All right, thank you. The record should reflect that the individual known to this court as Darrell Brooks is present in person in custody. He is wearing street clothes, specifically a suit and tie, and he is wearing a mask.
And I do not consent to being called that name for the record.
Noted. All right, so Mr. Brooks called a witness yesterday. There was an objection. I sustained it, but he also orally moved to dismiss, and I indicated I would take that up outside the presence of the jury. I didn't do that yesterday, so I just want to put on the record that I'm denying the motion without any further consideration or discussion by the parties. He listed two reasons. One was it had to do when he called the state of Wisconsin as a witness for failing to appear, and then for failing to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. There's no legal basis for those motions in law or in fact, and so that's why I'm denying them on the record today. I'm not asking for any further commentary or statements on the issue.
I object to that.
And I intend to have you call the next witness. I just want to confirm with the state Who is here this morning?
I object to that ruling, Your Honor. I would like
Noted
to-
for the record.
Present,
I would like a
present
legal
this
finding of
morning, Your
fact.
Honor.
I would like legal finding of fact.
Denied.
Your Honor, consistent with the court's instruction yesterday afternoon, we have present Douglas Kohler, Detective Steve Guth, and Erica Patterson are here now and available.
All right. All right, I expect you to call those first three before we get to any other person, not whatever order you want among the three, but those will be the three people called, and then we'll get to the next people according to the scheduling that I put in place yesterday.
I want to state for the record that I intend to appeal that judicial decision made about the motion to dismiss.
Noted for the record. All right, let's bring the jury out then.
Actually, we did address subject matter jurisdiction. It still has yet to be proven for the record. And I wanted to address the fact that with this, is it Kohler? Is that how you pronounce the name? Kohler?
We're going to continue with the witnesses. I've addressed subject matter jurisdiction repeatedly. There's
Look
a
at
written
him.
decision.
Look
I
how he
stand
does his
behind it.
paws.
You have three witnesses that you subpoenaed. The state made arrangements for them to be here. Whatever order you want to call them in this morning is fine, but those three are here.
That's what I was trying to address right now. I was asking
Okay,
about
go ahead.
the name.
What do you want to address?
The Kohler. How do you pronounce the name? Kohler. I'm
I
still
don't know.
having
You'll
trouble.
have to ask the witness.
I'm still having trouble finding the file for that particular witness.
Yeah, call the jury in.
So I don't know how I'm supposed to.
Mr. Brooks, you were well advised. These are your witnesses that the state made arrangements.
He's so
You
funny.
knew who was going to be called. I put that on the record yesterday. So of those three,
Your Honor, the bed bugs ate my homework. The bed bugs ate my homework. I don't know what to tell you, Judge. You know, what was I supposed to do? If I got between them and my homework, the bed bugs would have ate me, Your Honor. I don't know what you want me to do. Come on, Darrell. Save your life. You're counting on you. Well, don't look over there. They can't help
good
you.
morning, Detective Guth, if you would, as you are, come to the witness stand, remain standing, raise your right hand, and my clerk Teresa will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. Please state your first and last name for the record, or names, I should say.
Stephen Guth, Stevenguth.
Go ahead, sir. You're witness.
How long have you been in law enforcement?
Over 20 years.
And how long have you been a detective?
Just over 7 years.
Directing your attention to the evening of November 21st of 2021. Do you recall that evening?
I do.
And were you on duty that evening?
Not initially.
Hey, Rosalind.
For more clarification, what do you
Rosalind.
mean by not initially?
It was a regular off day for me, but I received notification to respond to the police department for the mass casualty incident in the downtown area of Waukesha.
So at that point, I'm assuming you were dispatched to that location?
I was not dispatched. I received a Signal message. We use Signal. It's an app that's used that we can share information for investigations. I received a Signal message that this tragedy just happened.
And
Welcome,
so what did you do
Maryland.
from that point?
Hey, boo.
I immediately dropped my wife and kids off and responded to the parade.
Laura.
And when you got to the parade, what did you do at that point?
I went to the downtown area to assess and see what I could help with.
At some point during your investigation, did you make contact with a woman by the name of Erica Patterson?
Yes.
And what was the nature of that that part of your investigation?
I wanted to speak with Erica Patterson because by that point, when I made contact with our command center, they had learned.
Darrell's like, did you talk to Erica Patterson? You're like, yeah. You're like, did she ask about me? No, Darrell, she didn't ask about you. Oh my gosh.
Learned the name of Darrell Brooks, and I'd learned that Erica Patterson was the estranged girlfriend of the suspect of this investigation.
You made reference to a estranged girlfriend. What do you mean?
I don't know if I should answer that.
I think the question was pertaining to the word estranged. We'll move on.
Hold up. Hey, Darrell, you the one that asked the question. Hold up, Darrell. You go, what do you mean estranged? Like, what do you mean estranged? What do you mean by that? Or, yeah, what he said, what do you mean estranged? He says, I don't know if I should answer that. He says, and Darrell says, I think the question is referring to the word estranged. What the fuck do you mean? You think like you're the one who's asking? You're the one who asked. What do you mean? So clearly, you know what you're asking in the question of what do you mean? What the fuck did you just say? I think the question was, huh? Like someone's speaking for you right now. I think what he meant to say when he said what it, you know. You're the one who asked the question, dumbass. You know what you meant by it. What the fuck do you mean? I think the question was referring to the word estranged. Like, the fuck you mean you think? Like, was it or weren't it? Okay. See, you talking with my Erica. I know that's right. Now you know that's what he think. What was y'all talking about? She asked about me? No. What you mean no? Now I must tell the jury about November 20th as well. They never would have known about it otherwise, dum-dum. So funny. He's so funny.
The jury will disregard that last question that it's been withdrawn. And the statement made by Detective.
What does that look, Darrell?
I'm assuming at some point you took a statement from this.
Think it's Samantha, mama love
Do you recall if it was recorded,
Yes,
written,
you do.
you writing it? What was the nature of how the report was taken?
Well, her words were spoken and they were recorded, and then I prepared a report.
Did you prepare the report that same evening?
No.
When did you prepare the report?
Sometime after the 22nd of November.
Why not the same evening?
Because after I spoke with her, I wanted to go back and speak with her again.
Did you obtain any statements from any other people that may have been involved with Miss Patterson?
I did not.
Do you know, to your recollection, if any other officers have taken statements from parties that may have been involved with Miss Patterson?
Well, the night of
When he crossed his
November
arms.
21st, 2021, I did have a partner with me, another detective.
Look at him.
Do you recall him talking to any other parties that may have been involved with Miss Patterson?
Well, the detective that was with me was a female, Detective Barron.
The question was, do you know if your partner had any interactions with parties that may have been involved with Miss Patterson?
I don't believe so.
Hold on,
but
are
I
you
can't-
specifically referring to a date certain or just in general?
I think it was clear.
I need it clear for the record,
The
though.
date would be
On the
November
21st?
21st
Okay,
of 2021.
thank you with that clarification.
No, I don't believe so.
Him and his, I think the question was clear. Be like, okay, good. Now wipe your ass with that response you just gave me and answer the question that I said. He's such a douche. I think it was clear. Okay, good. Now you can sleep with that thing that you just said underneath the prison forever. There, good. Long as you understood it, I guess. Look how disgusted Guth is looking at him. Okay, let me see.
Did you learn at any point that there may have been other parties involved with Miss Patterson?
In which incident?
I'm referring again to November 21st of 2021.
Darrell feeling some type of way about this guy.
Yes.
Do you recall who those parties were?
Like what you
Corey
ain't gonna
Runkle
do.
and Nicholas Kirby.
Did you yourself speak with either of those parties, Nicholas Kirby or Corey Runkle?
No, I did not.
Do you recall if your partner spoke with any of those parties?
Which partner?
I'm guessing the female partner that you made reference to?
No, she did not.
If he only had a point.
And in that recorded interview with Miss Patterson, what did you learn about the evening of November 21st, 2021?
Which recording?
That's right.
Are there multiple recordings?
Yes.
What did you learn about the evening of November 21st, 2021 from both recordings with Ms. Patterson?
Your Honor, I'm going to object at this point, as this testimony covers ground that was very clearly covered during the state's case in chief.
I'll give Mr. Brooks some leeway. You are asking for hearsay, though. You understand that?
I asked him, what did you learn?
Fair enough. Go ahead. You may answer.
I learned several things.
Darrell's like, that's right. What I said, okay? Not what you said, what I said. It's how smart he think he is for me. It's that part. I'm smarter than all of y'all, okay? Now let me take my wisdom and go take it and get up underneath of this here prison, because, I mean, that's clearly where I'm headed. I just want to make sure that you know, for the record, because the record is what matters. I need for y'all to know that I was smarter than you. Yeah, nah, bro. Now scooch, bro.
Initially, I think is what you were getting at. Miss Brooks
Hey,
wanted to report
Sadie.
that she was injured
boo.
by Darrell Brooks on November
Jeanette,
20th,
what's up, baby?
which would have been Saturday. She stated that she met with Mr. Brooks at Frame Park. And they were
Grandma
arguing over
Cece.
the fact that she did not give him money,
Tonette.
and he injured her by slapping her in the mouth and punching her in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, I went back and talked to her again, and she clarified that that actually did not happen on the 20th. It happened on the 21st. And that she got in a motor vehicle with him over the same argument. He was mad that she did not provide him with money. He proceeded to try to take her phone because he thought she was talking to other guys. Slapped her in the mouth, punched her in the eye. She jumped out of the motor vehicle because she feared for her safety and made her way back towards Frame Park. While walking back towards Frame Park, she was calling her friends, Corey Runkle and Nicholas Kirby, to come help her. When she arrived back near Frame Park in front of White Rock School, there was a confrontation in front of White Rock School with Mr. Brooks, Erica Patterson, Corey Runkle, and Nicholas Kirby, where there was some kind of shoving match. And that's when Mr. Brooks got back into the motor vehicle and took off down White Rock towards Main Street. Erica Patterson then made her way back towards Women's Center.
You made reference to being told about an incident from
The headlights
Saturday,
bothering
November
you?
20th, and then stating that in the second interview, Ms. Patterson stated that didn't happen. Is that
No, she didn't say it didn't happen. She said it didn't happen on that day. It happened on the 21st. Stupid. That's what she said. And that's all. You realized it. Oh, you know what? I almost just repeated what Sam says in this here message. You better tell me what they said about me. He forgets this is his murder trial. Yes, he does. He definitely does. Or at least he tries to distract everybody else into thinking that it's about something else. And not Erica on trial for something the judge probably knew he was about to shine the light on himself. So just let him speak, LOL. Like, nah, just let him talk. Just let him talk. You know, let him talk. Keep on digging, Darrell. Keep on digging.
correct?
She didn't state that it didn't happen. She just stated that she didn't drive around with him on Saturday, November 20th. But she also met with him and was slapped in the mouth that day, too.
If it pleases the court, I have a document here I would like to show the witness.
Right, if the bailiff could have it to
Hey, Tonya.
the state first to look at it. We may use the document camera if that's hooked up. Otherwise, the bailiff can take it to the witness.
Before we go through that process, I'm going to object. It's, well, maybe
Let me
we
see
should
the
talk about
document.
this. Yeah.
I can give that back to Mr. Brooks, given the content of that document.
Look at him with his head tipped back like
I'll
this.
sustain the objection, or what that document is, I should say.
Sustain on what grounds?
It's not relevant. Yep, to this witness's testimony.
How is it not relevant?
Look at his face. I'm so smart. Darrell is a modern day dinosaur for us all. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Okay. Thank you, Samantha, mama love you. Yes, she do.
It's not relevant.
You made reference to November 20th. That's what this document is talking about.
It's not relevant to the charges at issue. We
I
can take it up
know.
later.
I
If
did
you
her
need, I'll
another
recall
troll.
witness, but I'm directing you to move on to a new topic.
I'll be flattered right after I get done being annoyed. How about that?
Your Honor, I'm going to respectfully object to that and ask for finding the fact.
Oh.
The objection's noted. It's sustained. Their objection's sustained. Yours is overruled. Please continue.
Is that noted for the record? I would like a written finding of fact.
The request is denied. Keep going, please.
Not on what grounds, on what lawful law.
Keep going, sir. It's not relevant.
Are you making the judicial determination that you don't have to answer that question as a public servant?
Sir, I've ruled on the objection. It's on the record. Please keep going.
Once again, information that needs to be known is being hidden.
It's not relevant, sir. Please
It's
continue.
very relevant. He just opened the door on that by saying November 20th.
Objection. Move to strike all of the comments made by Mr. Brooks in the last 20 seconds or so, especially with regard to any implication that he hasn't had all of the discovery material.
Objection, I never made any mention of not having any discovery material. That never was
The jury will
stated.
just disregard, as I've told the jury repeatedly, comments made or statements made by the parties, whether they be lawyers or the parties themselves, are not evidence, and you're to disregard them and not consider them in any way.
It's Darrell fixing his suit for me. It's that part. You know, let me fix myself. Erica's coming.
And if the statements suggested,
I gotta look nice. She gotta know what she
facts
missing.
that are not in evidence, you should not make that, should not consider that in any way either. All right, go ahead. Your next
Beautiful
question, please.
wreck. Hey, boo.
So is it fair to say that in your report you referenced 2 incident reports?
Objection. This
Grounds.
witness wrote.
I'm going to overrule the objection and let the witness answer it. I think it might just be semantics.
Oh, I did that thing. This is when my brain gets all crossed and weird. I read this message, Sam. I read it in my head and in my mind. I read it out loud. And I just looked at it and was like, I don't remember feeling myself say the words. Samantha said, your mod's got it, mama. We will deal with them. You make us laugh. Thank you, Samantha. Mama love you. Indeed, she do. Uh-huh. Oh, did he say info was being hidden from the jury? It's hid, dum-dum. Yeah, it's like hidden. Or hid, yeah. Depending on which way you're using it. Oh, my God. Yeah, old Darrell. Darrell being a douche. Darrell being dumb.
At this point, but go ahead and ask your
You
question.
need semantics.
I think you were referring to that he had 2.
That's what his report says. He makes reference to two reports, 2 incidents.
2 incidents.
Yes.
Not 2 incident reports. Reports would be separate documents. That's what I'm talking about. With that understanding that you're referring to, and I think you're referring to incidents
Darrell
with
didn't
Ms.
like
Patterson,
that.
correct?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Darrell didn't like that. He like, what you ain't gonna do is correct me, okay? Erica might be in earshot, okay? Don't be correcting me.
He already on bail for 2 felonies. He knew he was cooked on that way, so I think he just went in a mind of panic. I don't think in his normal mind on a normal day.
Yeah, except for the fact that 2 weeks earlier he had ran over his girlfriend's foot. How long before that was it that he shot at his nephew? Darrell been practicing for this for years. He's been practicing.
So he got into a fight. He panicked and think he already on bail for 2 felonies. He knew he was cooked on that way, so I think he just went in the mind of panic, and he just. Mm-hmm. I don't think in his normal mind on a normal day that man was intended on. Okay, I'm gonna go to Waukesha and mow down a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, except for the fact that 2 weeks, if that earlier, he had ran over his girlfriend's foot. Except for how long before that was it that he shot at his nephew? Darrell been practicing for this for years. He's been practicing. When it come time, he showed up and he just showed out. He did the absolute fucking most. This is who he was. You fucking liar. Ain't that something? Not only are you, he said, I'm not defending what he done. Yes, the fuck you are. That's literally what we're listening to right now. Is him defending.
You remember when I first met you on Fight Club? And the first thing I told you, I said, Jay Prince, who run away from the police? When you was talking about all this police brutality and stuff like that, and I said, look, I never ran from the police. You know why? Because I ain't got no warrant, I ain't got no felonies, and I ain't got no dope in my car. So why am I run? So for you to make an excuse that he ran because he was a felon and he had warrants, that's his problem.
I know that's fucking right.
That's his problem. All you would see.
That's a Darrell problem. Maybe you can relate, Jay Prince, because you got some felonies. Do you got some?
All the shit that
but I understand it though because I've been through the situation.
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying. Every situation you
called it. He's had felonies. He's had felonies, and he's done ran from the popos before foes because he was doing some shit he had no business.
You run into with these cops interactions, running away from goddamn fucking police is because of what? They niggas. They bad guys. Hey, look, how can we defend it?
Exactly. They're bad guys. If you're the bad guy, you be the bad guy. There's good guys in this bad. They can't be good guys without the contrast of a bad guy to be able to establish the line to be able to call a person a good guy. Those are the bad guys. Darrell's a bad fucking guy. You, Jay Prince, are a bad fucking guy. Ain't nobody gonna talk me out of that. You are a bad guy. The only person who showed up for Darrell was this guy. And it was for clout. It was for clout. He said he has to say the story that he's saying and he's trying to stick to. He has to say that. What else can he say as a reason why he's come there? He ran through children and old people. I can't even freaking mobsters leave those categories alone.
I mean,
you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not defending. I'm not really. Well, I think our circumstances is different from a lot of people. Like when you dealing with women, when you out here in these streets, you're going to get caught up in something. It's not intentionally. It just end up happening.
Oh,
we got a different mindset from other people.
Yeah, when you be dealing with women, just somehow you end up like punching them in the eye one day. Like it just happens. I was like trying to remove a hair from in front of her eye and somehow it bam. When you're dealing with women, it just shit happens,
Different lifestyle on how we live in life and how the way we view life than other people. Like for an example.
And stop saying we, okay? Because there ain't no we, okay? You by yourself. Look to your right. Look to your left. You by yourself. Okay.
We go where.
Oh my God.
Gucci down.
Hey,
where other races they got the money to buy that shit, but they won't do it. So we got a different type of culture on how we view life and view things.
Okay. And this has what to do with Darrell? Nothing. Oh.
And how we operate in life. So a lot of times our operation would cause us to get into some type of trouble. I done been in trouble a lot of times, and it wasn't like I was planning. Okay, today I'm gonna go get in trouble and do something wrong so I can go to jail and have a warrant on all this other shit.
I knew it. Yep, he had warrants. Told you. I called it. That's what I'm telling you. It takes a certain mentality. If you're a criminal, you're just a fucking criminal. That's just what it is. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. There's a healthy amount of fear that you should have for certain things. Like kids, it's a healthy fear you should have for your parents. It's a healthy fear, right? It's to keep you, it's keep boundaries so that you always understand boundaries, right? It starts with them. And then like, if you have that like fear of God, then that means you're worried about what happens, like later on in, the next step. And you think oh shit, well, I don't want to go to the red place. People believe in heaven and hell, like, there's that to keep them in line. And then there's a healthy fear for like just kind of like law enforcement, for court stuff, for freedom, basically in line with freedom, which is just a fear of losing your freedom, which is your whole life. Like, you gotta live on the planet for as long as you're gonna be alive, however long that sentence is of you being alive. You want to spend it having someone else tell you every single thing to do, then keep it up, Darrell and Jay Prince. But if you want to be able to make your own decisions for the rest of your time on this fucking planet, then you sit the fuck down. Like, this is what you don't do everything you think of. You know what I'm saying? Like, your freedom should not be touching somebody else's fucking nose. That's where your freedom ends. That's where your freedom ends, when it touches somebody else. Like Darrell. That's why I could never even deal. Not only am I a legal beagle, but I could only even be around people who are legal beagles. The reason why is because you ain't even got to be doing nothing wrong. You just got to be standing next to the person who is. When they come to take him, they're going to snatch you too. They don't know the difference between y'all two. Y'all both, come on. Y'all might be in it together. Come on. That's why it's the company you keep as well. This planet is hard enough without having to be in those kind of circumstances. No, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But look at him. Warrants, felonies, just like Darrell. He just admitted it. I knew he was a freaking felon. I knew it. I knew he had warrants. I knew it. It's that dread. The felony bangs. And not the bangs.
Just come your way. A lot of times, shit, I couldn't even stop it. A lot of times you get caught up in spaces.
It's not might be misguided. It is misguided.
Yes, there you go.
Because I tell you this, if that was one of my family members,
I know,
and I saw you in the courthouse supporting him because he black, I'm about to whoop your. We gonna fight, bro.
I know that's fucking right.
And watch it. Now spin it. If one of your family members died by that idiot, no matter what the circumstances was, he's a grown man. He made a decision.
Mm-hmm.
If one of your daughters had got killed, right?
What?
And I was in there supporting that, what would you say to me?
I'll be mad as hell.
Okay.
He's like, well, there you go. See, look, this is what I'm telling you. Let's see what his response to that is. Ain't that so weird that he was just saying, I'll be mad. And then he's talking about them like the families. Oh, and then the families is in there crying, like, what they crying for now.
Yeah. So you can't make everything out of a race thing. Some shit is just stupid nigga shit.
But if I was a
oh my God, he gonna turn you spin it. Go on, spin it.
Let's say if I was a white cop and I gunned down your son.
But no.
And he was innocent.
No. But
what the fuck does that have to do with Darrell driving through the parade over the children and the old people? What does that have to do with? Oh my gosh. Okay, so now officially you are defending his actions. Not only are you defending them, you're saying they're a good thing because of these other things that have happened that you disagree with.
But guess what you're doing? You're deflecting.
But that's what's been happening to us. We can't say that's far-fetched.
Okay, is that what happened at the courthouse right now?
That ain't happening in this case, but this.
Okay, so you deflected.
But okay, no, that is the reason why I'm here.
Okay, but in that situation, you're deflecting. You're trying to take a possible injustice to where now this nigga probably getting justice. He's getting what he deserves. You can't compare the two. That's true deflecting. Instead of talking about what I just made the statement about, that you say you'll be mad if he did that.
Yep.
This ain't no police brutality.
Nope.
This is a slow, retarded motherfucker that deserves to get the electric chair. He do. He deserved to get the electric chair. I don't know if Wisconsin do. Wisconsin got an electric chair?
No, we don't got that.
So, but he deserved to get life.
Yeah, maybe if they had it, maybe this guy also wouldn't be out here causing chaos and wreaking havoc and defending the other guy to do. Maybe his plan is to do that also. And he's like, man, if we can get him off, then maybe when I do it also, I can get off too. Oh, weird. weird.
without the possibility of parole.
But right now, allegedly, he done this stuff. He innocent till proven guilty.
Oh my God.
And
Okay.
how the way they going about doing it, he actually got a mistrial coming.
No. What you said is what? No, you said it's alleged.
Look how he looked when he said that. He actually got a mistrial coming.
It ain't no. The pretense is behind with his case. He deserved a fair trial, but he was driving that car.
He's not getting a fair trial.
But was he driving that car? You say it's alleged that he killed people.
He's saying that no, what he getting charged with is with intent to murder people, and what he's fighting against is it wasn't intentional homicide. So if they got to prove that it was intentional homicide without reasonable of a doubt.
I
And
agree.
it wasn't.
I agree. It wasn't intentional. I mean, based on what I saw.
But based off that, if he can prove that, the case over with.
It's not over with. They still charge him for murder. Whether it's intentional, whether it's premeditated.
He might get hit with manslaughter, but he still put like.
He ain't getting no fucking manslaughter after driving through 7 blocks of fucking people. Driving over them, flying off the car, rolling off the front, and then him driving over them with the tires. No. Manslaughter my monkey ass, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking, you know what is so weird? The delusion, it's the delusion here. When this guy finally goes to jail forever for whatever it is that he's planning on doing, because he clearly is planning on doing some shit. He ain't giving me vibes of somebody who respects the law and boundaries. So whenever you get locked up for whatever it is you're going to get locked up for, J. Prince, oh, please know I'll be right on here on the YouTubes ready to make fun of you for it, okay?